Let's look at someone who has a pension pot of £200,000. Do they still have to go around chasing more money full time, or do they actually have enough? Are there some options available to them that might be quite helpful? So I'm building on the things that I mentioned in this video that you might also want to check out. So here we've got someone who I think the mindset is just all wrong. They've got some savings, they hate their job, they want to retire as soon as possible. Not sure they've got enough money though. But really, it's not binary, as Katie Donegan would say. You've got choices. You could take a sabbatical, you could work part time. It's not a question of giving up work altogether and then just kind of doing nothing and just spending all this wealth you've built. It's a question of looking out there, seeing what's available and what works for you. So you've probably heard of the Japanese Ikigai, and it's worthwhile just looking at it again from time to time, focusing on the sweet spot between what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at. And when you get the combination of all three, then life just flows and everything is wonderful. So here we've got another way of looking at Ikigai, and how you spend your time should be driven by these sorts of things like meaning and value, sense of purpose, life satisfaction, change and growth, having a bright future, freedom, and then ultimately self-actualization, which is the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs pyramid. And there's no mention of money here because that will come later. When all these things are flowing, then you'll probably find that you'll also get money coming to you as well. So you can build up a passion project alongside your day job at either evenings or weekends. And then you can switch over to that passion project as a source of income if it takes off. And it's not either or. So one example I know of is a pet photography business where the initial customers were family and friends, and it's quite easy to get testimonials. And then you could get referrals through local independent pet shops, and then start to build a website and an online presence and just take it from there and watch it grow. And when you're truly following your passion, you aren't worried about what is in your bank account. And that is probably the ultimate test for whether the business is right for you. And there's lots of great books like The $100 Startup. So it's really beliefs and not money that's holding you back, because something like selling on Etsy doesn't cost you any money. Same for eBay. So loads of people can be these like antique wheeler dealers and then just take it from there. So let's have a look at someone pursuing an alternative career in the retirement calculator. So initially they earn 40,000 after tax. They take a partial sabbatical and earn pretty much the personal allowance. Then they come back into their second career. They're earning less money, but they enjoy it and they're able to work until the state pension kicks in at 67. They currently spend around 30,000 because they're saving consciously for their retirement. In the first phase of retirement, they want to spend about 3,000 a month and then slowly drop down the amount that they spend in later life. And if we map the wealth by time, they build up the wealth with a little bit of a pause when they're on the sabbatical. Then they start to draw it down. That all looks fine. And then when we look at the sources of income over time, they've got their higher salary, then they're dipping into their ISA investment to fund their year where they're retraining for the new career. Got the new career here. And then in retirement, they've got the mixture of tax-free cash from the pension itself, state pension, and a little bit of the ISA. So this retirement calculator has given them some confidence about their ability to take on a new career and still have enough money for a comfortable retirement. Visit my website, ianshadrack.com/retirement-calculator to find out more. So on a typical Tuesday morning, where do you want to be? You could be on the golf course, and that's great, but you might be worried how long the money is going to last for. You could be watching daytime TV, and your money will last forever, but you're just absolutely bored out of your mind. You could be at work, which you maybe love or maybe hate. So maybe there's some things you can do to negotiate at work to get a role that you enjoy a bit more. Or you could be following your passion and just living your dreams. There's literally so many things that you can do, as this diagram kind of shows, and you can sort of monetize it because you can build a YouTube channel around all kinds of exciting things that you do. And personally, I find there is a gap of people in there, maybe like 50s and 60s, really doing interesting and inspirational things that people would like to tune into once a week. So this is a graph of happiness and age, and I'm not sure I 100% agree with it. What it's saying is that you really need to take action in your life when your happiness is kind of around at its low point and when you probably actually least feel like doing it. So it is kind of counterintuitive, but you do need to just kind of take the leap and start to really focus on what you enjoy in life. So one thing that interests me is, when is the prime of your life? Is it sometime in the past, or can you actually take control of your life and make it sort of now or in the near term future? And I see three different things going on here. One is like a physical prime, and it's your body, and you could like hire a personal trainer and start like running half marathons and become really fit and eat better and have lots of energy. So there's no reason why your physical prime couldn't actually be around about now. The next one is your mental prime, which is maybe partly ability to add things up really quickly in your head, but it's also developing a growth mindset as advocated by Carol Dweck. And this can be cultivated through, again, maybe reading the right books and maybe having the right coach that just makes you believe that you can do things and that maybe life's too short and you just got to sort of get out there and do it anyway. And then the final thing is the financial prime. And I think maybe too many people are focused on this, waiting till they've got a bit more money and then they'll do something on it. Still a bit more money, still a bit more money. So it is kind of true that, yeah, your financial prime is growing until probably the day that you finally give in your job, but don't let that dictate how you live your life. So another good book, and you don't have to read it, you can just get a summary online, is The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. And he talks about people on the sidewalk just living paycheck to paycheck, people living in the slow lane who are saving money, but they're working a job, maybe they don't like it, they're just really trading their time for money, and they will eventually retire and be happy, but it's going to be a long, hard slog. And then people in the fast lane probably own their own business, make it very scalable, so it's not just time for money. They may be selling courses they've done or books they've written, and so there's not this link between being paid by the hour, and that's the way you can leverage yourself and really make a lot of money. So one bit of free training you can do is by The Rebel School, www.therebelschool.com, and in March 2024 they're launching a free online course about how you can start up a business from hardly any money. So I'm a fan of online communities, and here's one, restless.co.uk. So it's got things about work that you can do in your 50s and beyond, learning you can do, volunteering you can do, tips about money, tips about health, lifestyle, travel. It just goes on. And I think this can be quite inspirational for people. It's really important to network with the right people, because like attracts like. And if you're in the right sort of groups and forums and you ask better questions rather than, well, how can I retire as soon as possible, then you'll get some really good answers and you'll get some real inspiration. So if you've got £200,000 in savings, you don't necessarily have enough money to retire and stop any income generating activity altogether, but you do have enough money to consider retraining, following a passion, building up something at evenings and weekends that you really enjoy and that you can ultimately make some money out of and enjoy your life a lot more. So next, I recommend you check out this video, which has a lot more advice on how you can retire happy, even if you don't have a lot of savings.